Brownie, who are you
Yep.
rolling with next?
So next is the other runner of the two, Mo Farah. He's probably the highest profile long distance runner in a very long time because,
He's British.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, he competes for Britain.
Yeah.
Isn't he actually like Somalian
He's
or something?
born in Somalia, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's full on British though.
Yeah, it counts. It counts. Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the Kate Campbell
So
sisters
his
are from
achievements
Malawi.
pretty much from 2011 to 2017. 2017 is when he decided to change into the marathon from 5,000 and 10,000. But from 2011 to 2017, pretty much dominated 5,000 and 10,000, like almost unbeatable. He won the 5,000 and 10,000 golds at London and in Rio. Then the 4 world championships over that time, he won 6 golds and 2 silvers in those 2 events. And then he won one of his silvers in 2011 and one of them in 2017. So pretty much from 2012 to 2016, in those 4 major championships, he didn't lose in the 5,000 or in the 10,000, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. I feel like all of that pretty much speaks for itself. He's known as like a racer. He knows because interestingly, when I looked at his personal best in the 5,000 and 10,000, which he dominated, in the 5,000, he's the 35th fastest of all time.
Yeah, I looked at that. He doesn't have any world records, does he?
35th fastest of all time in 5,000 and 16th fastest of all time in the 10,000, which is doesn't seem very impressive when you think about that. But then obviously all those times are super close to each other. And he's a racer. He doesn't push the pace. He's not there to break world records, but he's a fast finisher and he knows exactly how to win races and he does it almost every single time, which is pretty incredible. So, who knows if there was someone around who pushed the pace in those races and wanted to get those, was capable of pushing the pace to get those world records, maybe his personal best would be better. But I don't think it's not like the marathon, or this is where it comes a bit different to the marathon, because I don't think your time is that important. You winning is more important than your times, especially in the longer distances when it's more tactical, whereas obviously in a sprint you're just running as fast as you can for the entire time.
Obviously they're going very fast, but sometimes you'll watch a 5,000 or 10,000 and the first couple laps, you'll hear the commentators say this is a very slow pace and stuff, because it's kind of I don't know what the cycling event is called, but when they I think Anna Mears used to do it. I think it's just
I
called
know
the
the one you're
sprint,
talking about,
where they just crawl around and then one just dive bombs, and that's kind of, obviously it's not as extreme as that. They kind of gradually build up in the running, but it's kind of like that, where the first couple can be very slow.
Yeah, exactly. And it depends on the runner. There's some runners who are known for pushing the pace and they're better over the distance, but they're not as fast finishers, so they may do that. But Mo Farah's definitely, he's very fast. His sprint speed is probably the fastest for people running for runners of that distance. So he didn't feel like he needed to push the pace, and he just played the tactics perfectly every time. Which
I don't know if I'm narrow, obnoxious or whatever, but I've never really heard of him till 2012, and then he won one of the golds there, and he kind of just became a worldwide sensation immediately, just because obviously
it was his
an athletics medal in home Olympics, and just an athletics medal in for anyone, especially long distance for Great Britain. That's pretty impressive. If a athlete wins a gold medal in Australia, they're automatically even if it's Steve Hooker, they're automatically pretty famous. So and then he had the big M celebration, which always helps a celebrity's cause when they've got a bit of a trademark going. So he's just a well-known thing. And something else, I don't know if this is a legit thing, but because he's the only British runner, I feel like he might be disadvantaged, because sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 Kenyans, and they can kind of pacemake for each other.
They work together.
The worst one will just one will just sacrifice himself, go out hard in the first 4 or 5 laps, and set the pace for the better runners. So I don't know if that's a legit thing. But
and in the 10,000 in Rio, he actually stacked it in the middle of the race and got back up and then won. Obviously, it's a bit different to stacking it in a sprint. But because they were just they weren't. No, it was near the start, but still.
Yeah, but he was probably like in
Crazy
pain and
to
stuff.
go to, so
Yeah, he should do the steeplechase if he's that much of an athlete. But nah, probably there's not once again nothing really against him. I was
Yeah.
actually looking at his record, and if you compare it side by side with someone else who we're going to talk about in a second, the big Usain,
yeah,
I think there's an argument to be had that Mo Farah is the best athlete of the decade because I reckon we just talk about him next, Peanut, because like this might be a bit of a segue, but Usain Bolt's world records were out of this decade and he never bettered them. So I think there's an argument against that. But as you were saying, Brownie, Mo Farah doesn't have a world record, which definitely hurts his
Yeah.
case. But I think Mo Farah won more golds at the Worlds than Usain Bolt did this decade. But yeah, obviously the 100-meter sprint's a lot more iconic than the 5,000.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
all right.
much better spectator sport, the old 100-meter.
Yeah, there's nothing against the athletes really. Their medal tallies and stuff. It's hard to argue. Like once again, the no one can stop them thing, but that's like just a stupid argument, really. All right, Peanut, are you gonna roll with Usain here?
Yeah. Well, I had him second on my notes anyway. Not in terms of
Yeah,
rankings, kind of just
yeah.
to speak about. But yeah, 8 Olympic golds, 6 of them since 2010, the decade at least. 11 golds at World
I'm
Champs.
so pumped for the Olympics now. This is gonna be hot.
A lot of Olympians have come up early here, but got 11 golds at World Champs, 8 since 2010. He copped a bronze in 2017 as well. Gold at Glasgow at 2014, the Commonwealth Games. He holds the world records for the 100, 150, and 200 meters. But
150.
I looked it up. It's just the 150 straight, no bend. So it's just an extended 100. But
So it's a lap of the Fisher.
yeah, for sure.
The smallest
And he holds the
running track.
national record for the 300 in terms of Jamaican runners. But I think they were all set before 2010, just irrelevant. He's got 6 golds in the 100 meters, 10 golds in 200 meters, and 7 golds in the 4x100. He did retire 2017, which although he's an Olympian, so it doesn't affect his Olympic medals too much. I think there's still a few world champs and stuff he missed out on the medal tally. So still running 70% of the decade and having been in the combo is a good effort, I reckon. I did find out that he has an Order of Jamaica as a fun fact, which is the equivalent of being knighted in the British honour system. So that's pretty impressive for a sprinter.
Yeah, deserved.
Yeah, I think outside of world champs and Olympic gold medals, and I guess records as well, but I think there's not much to really talk about. Whereas the athletes, I think obviously they're a lot more important than saying like race wins for motorsport and stuff. But yeah, they don't really have too many noticeable events apart from the world champs and Olympics.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Asafa Powell. If it wasn't for Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell would have legit been a worldwide like celebrity. He's still very well known. Like obviously we all know who he is and stuff. But because I was looking at it, the world record progression, he broke it like 4 times from like 2005 to 2008 or something.
Yeah.
And then Usain Bolt just came around and kicked him to the curb. And Justin, like Bolt's copped a lot of good competition in his career. Like he copped Gatlin, who was doping, and I'm still pretty sure he beat him like most times.
Yeah.
And then Tyson, wait, is his name Tyson?
Yeah,
Tyson Gay. Yeah, he was also very good. I don't know if he doped or not. It's a 50-50 with these athletes, but he was also very, very good at one point. And then later on in his career, he like copped Johan Blake and at the very end, Andre DeGrasse, or whatever that guy's name is. So it's not like he just ran in a easy era of 100 meters and 200 meters, but yeah, probably the most dominant athlete. Well, I don't really know too much about athletics. I don't know like the ins and outs of like the Jesse Owens and the Carl Lewises and stuff, but he's definitely up there. Well, in my time anyway, 100% the most dominant athlete I've ever seen. It's kind of like he used to win those races so easily as well.
Yeah.
Like the last 10 meters, half the time he would slow down. And it was
like there's that photo of him smiling or whatever at the camera.
Yeah, he'd always like look to the side and he's just such a legend. Like he's such a bubbly personality. He's got his celebration.
Yeah.
He loves like cricket. He loves soccer. Like he just seems like the best bloke.
Sure, so.
Yeah. And it's a shame the A-League didn't sign him up. I think that was a mistrick there. I know they don't want to become a gimmick league, but like that would have been so good for the league. Like I would 100% go on to watch him.
Yeah.
I don't care if he was horrid, but yeah. But no, just a legend of sport, really.
He's 6'5". I think I checked. He's like 94 kilos or something. Like he's just He must just be pure lean muscle.
He's just built for running, really. Yeah. Well, to be honest, a lot of the other good runners nowadays are actually like thick. Like Johan Blake's thick as.
Yeah.
So maybe but just a legend of the game.
Yeah.
The 4x100 meter relays in 2008, 2012, and even 2016, they were probably my most look forward to events. I just loved seeing the Jamaican lads just team up, like a bit of an Avengers style thing, because they would all be competing against each other in the final, and then they would just team up in the relay and just do bits. But it wasn't like, didn't he try and win gold at one of his final world championships and he failed?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah,
that's probably came. I think he got bronze.
Yeah, he got bronze.
That's probably the one thing.
Was the anchor leg for Jamaica's relay and did his hammy during the race, right. And they didn't finish. So
that's probably one thing that is against his name, but obviously,
he was
at that point he was like 32.
I think that after Rio, he probably like should have retired. Like I don't think he went into that World Championships. It was just like a final hurrah for him, and I don't think he like was at his full capacity at that time anyway.
Yeah, and he lost. I just searched it up. He lost to Justin Gatlin, which I think would have hurt, given the fact, like, I don't know exactly their relationship, but I assume the Jamaicans probably weren't too fond of Justin Gatlin, given the fact that he doped and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only one downer. But he'd already achieved enough at that point. He was kind of just going for the icing on the cake.
Because he retired in 2017. If you include like 2008 and 9, like his record and stuff, like for his argument for this decade, be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I
feel like
it still is.
And 9 and stuff, like dominant. Where
he was still an automatic selection, really.
Yeah. And everyone,
like we asked. I tried to ask. I won't lie. I got absolute donuts, but I tried to ask a few people who they think was the best athlete, and I think I got 6 responses, and 3 were Bolt. So, unanimous person to be in this list. There was quite a few of these people I didn't even do research. Like when I got my list of 50, I just picked them out and I'm like, yeah, they're in. And Bolt was one of them. So I'm actually that pumped for the Olympics now. I think there's only one more. Oh no, there's 2 more Olympic athletes, and then we're probably going to move into the more mainstream sports. So if you're waiting for your favorite athletes to come, they're probably going to come in a second.
Queensland, it's a miracle! Oh yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle. Oh, the ball is close. He's given it! He's given it!